Senior German lawmakers have told DW that more needs to be done to protect the German parliament from foreign and domestic threats. Concerns have been raised about service personnel having access to offices in the Bundestag without rigorous background checks. Advocates for tougher measures say that the threat of espionage is real, while voices on the far right are skeptical, as Matthew Moore reports.
The Bundestag, the heart of German democracy. Every day, thousands of people come and go here. Some come to work or join a tour. Others are allegedly on a mission.
We have had cases of espionage in which foreign agents have obtained information in the Bundestag, and we must put a stop to this.
While proven spying cases are rare, alarm bells went off earlier this year when one of a select group of lawmakers with access to top state secrets said he would restrict access to his office for cleaners. Die Zeit newspaper reported cleaning staff sharing cards to access buildings and security waving them in without IDs. Johannes Fechner of the Social Democrat is also concerned about who has access.
The vast majority will be decent and fair without us having to worry about it. But there is a danger that agents could sneak in here. That's why we have to tighten control measures to be safe.
Lawmakers warn that the main threat is from Russia, but that far-right lawmakers also posed a risk because of links to foreign states and extremist networks at home. A former AfD MP is on trial, accused of being part of a plot to violently overthrow democracy. Birgit Malsack-Winkelmann is said to have used privileged access to scope out Parliament. Then there is sitting AfD lawmaker Maximilian Krah, whose former aide has been charged with spying for China. Despite all that, the AfD has doubled its seats in Parliament. Some say this underlines the need for more thorough background checks.
When you have extremists in the Bundestag building, you have to improve the security regulations to better protect yourself.
The AfD rejects those claims.
I would say that it's the other way round. As the saying goes, we are the guardians of democracy, the alternative for Germany. We are the ones who actively live and defend the fundamental rights of our basic law.
The new government is planning to expand the powers of the Bundestag police. That would allow them to combat physical threats to Parliament and gather intelligence from other agencies.
We have to catch up. We need to know who's in this house.
The AfD is concerned that strengthening police powers could be used against them.
So far, there is no legal basis for this, which was an issue in the last legislative period. But we have great fears that it will impair the opposition's work.
If nothing else, the matter has renewed not only the debate about access to Parliament, but about defending democracy. And from whom?
And we are joined by Matthew Moore, who filed that report. So, we heard there how the Bundestag has been facing both domestic and foreign threats. Why has the Parliament failed to beef up security?
The word that one lawmaker used when discussing this with me was naivety. He said that Germany had basically had its head in the sand in recent years, and now that is starting to change. The last government brought forward a law to strengthen the parliamentary police here, but the collapse of that government meant it was never passed. Now, two things have happened since then. The new government has said it's committed to passing that legislation, Sarah, and it's also promised more money for the security services here in Germany. That will no doubt go some way to increasing the monitoring of foreign threats. But there's a fundamental question here, which is, can the Bundestag, the German parliament, can it keep out individuals who hold extremist views or anti-constitutional views but haven't yet committed a crime? And that is the question that we're dealing with for a lot of these concerns, and a lot in this story. That's the concern. And
members of the parliament from the far-right AfD have raised doubts about increased security at the Bundestag. Why? There are two aspects to this, Sarah. So the AfD has 152 members now in Parliament. It's the second biggest party. And many of those members, those sitting parliamentarians, are members of right-wing extremist groups as classified by the Office for the Protection of the Constitution. Some of those people are under surveillance. We know that. Now, in May, the party was classified as a whole as a right-wing extremist threat. That means that
the security services think that it could be a threat to German democracy. Now, that classification has been paused because the AfD challenged it in court. But at the moment, what you have is to debate and talk about an outright ban. And all of which, this is all set out in the German constitution. But if you're the AfD, you see this naturally very differently. They say that this is motivated to try to thwart a party on the opposition, them. And basically, they're concerned that these security rules, these new tightened security rules, would make it harder for them to employ people in Parliament who work on their staff, because many of these people that they employ on their staff are members of groups that are deemed to be right-wing extremists by the Office for the Constitution. So they can see how it would really hinder their ability to act in Parliament. And so that's where you see this huge tension, where on the one hand, you've got politicians who want to try to defend democracy, as is written out in the Constitution. On the other hand, you've got a legitimately democratically elected party here who they say poses just that threat.
Matthew Moore, thank you.